my fellow Pisceans out there. Gang, you already know we in the building. Also want to give a shout out to all my two twos and my three threes and my two twos and my three threes and my 777s. And shout out to any other angelical numbers that I may have forgot to mention. Also want to thank everybody for coming out to support the channel. Thank you. And those of you that are new, welcome to the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell notification to be notified of my upcoming videos and content. And we're going to jump right in. So today we're going to be talking about Pisces man and Capricorn woman truths. I'm going to break it down for y'all. Now, funny thing is I met a Capricorn woman earlier today, and it was pretty much a good situation. Now, this is a more underrated pair. See, you don't really oftentimes find too many people discussing it, but it's like it's powerful when it happens because Capricorn can be somewhat toxic if you're not careful. But like, and okay. So the problem, this is the reason why I said a Capricorn can be toxic because they tend to live a life that is sort of like a entity, sort of like an entity. So it's like they live the life as though it was a business, right? And the problem is there's no morals, meaning she might not believe in marriages. She might not, she can be a player. She could think, well, I would say that she might have so many different things going on that is not of this world. That's why I said she can be an entity to where if you was to start up your own LLC, for example, you notice that it's separate from you. See, even though you could be doing business as such and such or your name or a different name, if when it comes to an entity, it's like something you invest into. It could be an image, it could be a company, and most of the time it ends up being an image, aka brand. And it's like Capricorn is like that. Capricorn is structured to where you're not just dealing with a person. You're dealing with someone that holds an image, if that makes sense. It's like you're dealing with someone that is like business oriented. Now, even when they're just bored and they're just chilling, a lot of times out of their recreation, time, they'll make a business. They'll start up something. Now, it's the crazy thing is that it could be very toxic because you got to meet a Capricorn where they're at. You got to meet them where they're at. So if they're at a place in their life where they feel like they don't want to get married and they want to, have a roster and they want to date many different men and you are you are number 2 on the list, a lot of times it's like you gotta play by their rules just to keep them. And if you feel otherwise, then there's a problem. Now, what's going on, Jenny? What you saying? Look behind me for what? You saying look behind me for what? Hey, I ain't gonna lie, you is right though. Let me roll my window up because somebody could have snatched my damn Asia kid for the 100. So yeah, it's like what's going on, Kobe? What's going on? How you doing? And yeah, he said I wasn't in the furry club. That's crazy. Which club? Asia kid said, what are we talking about? Well, we're talking about Pisces man and Capricorn woman, and when like I say, it's underrated couple, but when it actually does happen, when you actually do see both of them together, it's underrated. Now, the problem is there's a lot of love. It's a lot of things when it come to like trust and power. Oh, that's good, Kobe. Glad to hear that. Uh, I'm not sure what that is, Sully. Um, now here's the thing. Okay, so as I mentioned, it's like when you first meet a Capricorn, you do feel like a breath of fresh air. As you begin to talk to them, they might be serious at first, but you got to understand that this type of person is always it's like they're always scanning you. They're always honing in on you, and it's like they try to come up with a how can I say it? It's like when you get to know someone, you get those mental downloads of who that person is that you're getting to know. But Capricorn is like they have a mind of their own, so they're not going to be quick to go along with like if there's rumors out with your name attached to it, which is a good thing. They will actually get to know you themselves. But at the same time, you gotta you can't just fully assume that they're gonna be cool with it, because sometimes that's the thing you don't always get to know is how a Capricorn truly feels, even regarding your emotions. Okay. Now, either both of you guys, if you get together, you're a Pisces man with the Capricorn woman, usually you guys end up building empires. You guys could build empires together, or you guys can break souls together. So breaking souls is kind of like, what I mean by that is she could be, she could really, okay, let's say, that's why I said you got to be careful with Capricorn, because if you're the type of person that lives like your life based off of morals, and let's say the Capricorn doesn't believe in any of those morals or those standards of just, how life should be or expectations, sometimes they can break your soul, meaning they can really mold you into the way that they think about life. And then it's like, if you're not strong enough to differentiate, you guys' different views on life, then what you don't want to do is succumb to her rules, to where you end up breaking your own rules, and it's almost like it tends to work against you, because it's going to work against you more than the other way around. Now, the difference here is Pisces man tends to feel things out, where Capricorn woman tends to think things out. See, now as we mentioned before, thinking, you don't get paid to think. See, it kind of messes with your because think about it, you could think wrong about something. You can have it messes with your perception. So in order to get clarity, that's just her way of doing things. She's gonna go through logically. um she's gonna go through a situation in a logical sense. Now, a Pisces man tends to dream, where a Capricorn woman, she tends to execute things. So she is definitely the type of person to get things done. See, now the problem, and only reason why I keep saying the problem, you guys, because like when you're a Pisces man, it's easy for you to fall in love. It's easy for you to get attached. It's easy for you to merge, especially when you feel as if someone understands you. But that's good and all. But with Capricorn, you got to take your time. See, you got to kind of slow things down and keep it at the same pace, that, no more than what she's giving into the situation. Now, another thing is that in chaos, she grounds herself in chaos. Now, what a now with a Pisces, he can when it comes to a Pisces, you got to understand that his energy is a little different from Capricorn. See, and it's tied to the emotional realm. And yes, a Capricorn can say things that they affirm. They can have a real strong how can I say, opinion why they do something. and it could totally go against how you think about life. See, for instance, I met the Capricorn woman today. Well, I known her for like a week, and the first conversation was good. I guessed her sign just by me, talking to her and whatnot. And then surprisingly, she was like, "Oh, we exchanged numbers, whoop de whoop." And then she's like, "How did you know my sign?" I said, "Oh, I actually got a YouTube channel, whoop de whoop." And then it was like, I was just trying to keep it vague as much as I could because Capricorns is tricky, man. Like, because it's like this. you never know, you never know where you stand. You can never get too comfortable with Capricorn because it's like they can literally break your heart and shatter it in like in such a way that you didn't see it coming, you know? Because that's could be like like for instance, they could be like talking to you and you could think they like you because they're so, feels like a breath of fresh air, but then they can literally just like show you that that means nothing. And it's like it'll mess you up to where it's like, well, wait a minute. Am I really getting to know someone? Because they're disciplined to be a certain type of way. See? Now, always know that she's the word I'm looking for, a strategist, in other words. She looks at life and she lives her life as though it was a strategy. So every put it like this, every person that comes in her life, she looks at them as being an opportunity. So that's why I said you have to treat her like an entity because that's what she's doing. She's constantly building. Okay. So let's say she meets you, and then let's say she has let's say she does therapy. Okay, she does therapy on the side. And then all of a sudden she meets you, and then maybe you discuss a couple things about your interest in therapy or hey, whatever it may be. And then she gets whiff of it. Now she might look at you as being, you know, maybe like a client. In other words, she might look at that as an opportunity, a business opportunity, but she's not like a Pisces to where a Pisces might try to make put it like this, like make a friend or just make some, oh, I just met someone new and it's like, oh, cool, hey, this person seems cool. Let's do things together. And sometimes even that's not even in the plans of a Capricorn, if that makes sense. So what this is where I'm getting to. What you want to do, the best way to find so first you got to find out what the Capricorn wants or what they're currently working on. Only way you're gonna be able to find this out is you're gonna have to uh agree with them. Yes. I know it sounds like, wait a minute, why do we gotta agree? It doesn't mean you really agree with them, but you gotta agree with them to find out where the ego is. Because Capricorn can be very egotistical to like the fifth power because they could love themselves so much that they look at themselves as being more than what they actually are, if that makes sense. So it's like they can love themselves so much where they feel like you know, they can have it their way. Meaning, oh, like the girl that I met, she said, oh, you want to be a part of my roster? I said roster. I said, so what do you got going on? You got plenty men you talking to? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't believe in just talking to one person, one guy. Now it's like trying to, make sense of what is true of what she's saying and what is like pretty much a lie or just, filler. But at the same time, it's like it's unrealistic. So that's why I say like another thing she said to me, which was kind of crazy, was she said, I said, do you pick up anything about me? And she said, well, I pick up that you're you're a bit manipulative or something, she said. I said, "What?" I said, "Wait a minute. Why'd you say that?" She's like, "Because I could just tell, like, the way you the way you act." But then I'm like, "Okay, I never heard that before." But I said, "Continue on." And then she just said, she was like, she said, "Oh, you're a deep person," or something she said. And then it was like, she said I was a bit evil to her. She said something about you, I come off a bit evil. And I'm like, but she was like, "Oh, but it's in a good way. It's not, evil being evil is actually good." And then I'm looking at her like, wait a minute. Like, it's see, you gotta be careful with people that you play with those, that play with like intense words. It's like they play with them, and they're comfortable saying words like, "Oh, evil," and this and that. It's like, because I'm gonna tell you, remember I said projection, people project onto you. And it's like a Pisces naturally does this, where a Pisces can mirror you to where you start to show more of that of which you probably wouldn't tell other people. So it's like the dark side comes out, especially if you got a Scorpio placement, like a rising, or you got Pluto and Scorpio or whatnot. It's like this. I was like, well, why did she say I was evil? And I'm like, wait a minute. That don't even make sense. Like, that had to be something projected upon me that came from her. Cause I'm like, I'm not receiving that. Like, nah, I'm not evil. Yeah, I make mistakes, but I do not classify myself as evil. But she was like, "Oh, no, 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 it's not a bad thing. It's actually, it's a good thing, if you're evil." And I'm like, nah. Cause like I feel like she was trying to get me to um, you know, wanted me to, like, she's trying to make it comfortable for a person to reveal themselves if it's something that she thinks a person, could be, but just trying to make a person, you know, honor it to where she could pretty much pinpoint where she stands in the situation regarding it. Okay, let me see. Kobe said, where did you go from? Where you go? Where you come from? Oh, that's crazy. Let me see. No, James, welcome. Said watch it cause I'm a Capricorn, OG Joe. Yeah, I don't have no issue with Capricorn. I'm just the reason why I did this video is because it's interesting that me and this Capricorn woman, I felt like we had a lot in common, but it was like it was a lot of things that she mentioned that I was just unsure about why she mentioned it. And I felt like most of the things that she said to me were projected. Now, according to the facts, is that when you are a water sign and you're dealing with a earth sign, what can happen is that by you guys being opposites, you can create stability. See? So that's why I said here you got trust and then you got power, but it's once it's established. Now, when you get to know a Capricorn, you don't want to rush things. Like I say, you want to, you don't want to be needy. You don't want to go into the situation, just needing things and, because that's going to piss them off. Um, a lot of times, like I say, she could teach Pisces discipline. So she could help a Pisces, like, become more grounded in a sense. Uh, a Pisces can tend to go with the flow where a Capricorn likes to build. When you look at a Pisces and a Capricorn, think of the yin and yang dynamic, if that makes sense. Welcome, Misty. Blessings. How you doing? Doing all right. Um, and see, sometimes imagine if two people could drive the same vehicle, right? It's almost like if two people could sit up front and drive at the same time. Think of that. And then in such a way, it's like both can check each other's blind spots. So that's kind of like what Capricorn woman and Pisces man could do. So It's like he can soften her aura energy. So because a lot of times she can come off as, cutthroat. She could be serious, uh, like I said, goal oriented, and really want to, go out there and bring it to life, start something and actually, really start it and get something going instead of sitting on it. Um, Another thing with Pisces, they could adapt emotionally to anything. Um, he can bring the imagination to her routine because, Capricorns tend to follow a routine of what, based on how they see things and view things and build things. Sometimes it's like just like a Taurus in such a way, they seldomly change their mind. See? Um, Now when we look at why I said this couple is underrated, because this is considered a power couple. At least that's what the energy feels like. One thing about Capricorn is they build wealth. Pisces, they attract opportunities. And when you put them together, this is manifestation and execution all at once. Okay. Now she respects the whole ambitious side of, to anything that she can relate to, especially if you haven't, let's say if you were ambitious. Now, one thing about Pisces is that they respect effort. So this is why a Capricorn woman and a Pisces man, they can build a legacy together. She's good at handling finances, and he brings a whole, creative income. So it's like a Pisces may have a career in something that was created versus something that exists, to where he can make money. He can make money off starting like something that's never even been a thing. So he can literally sell a doctor shows cushions that he actually, found a way to make the shoe more comfortable, but it's not something that you could buy in the stores. It's like he may have his own product. See, kind of like Bow Wow, where he has his own do rags or something. Um, so another thing is that both of them have strong long term potential, and that could be related to, business. And then at the same time, they both have that of which takes an emotional balance between the both of them. So that's why, like, when you are a Pisces, you will feel understood by a Capricorn woman if you're a Pisces man, because it's like you could tell her things and she gets it. It's like she's not like dumbfounded or like, oh, she can't make sense of what you're saying. She just gets it, to where, on a vice versa, she's like, you will get what she's saying, where she's coming from. You actually soften her personality, because you actually help her, calm down. Because one thing of, constantly working and constantly, building, that you can oftentimes get stressed, Capricorn. Now, one thing about Pisces man is he keeps the hope alive between the both of them. They can elevate together with each other and whatnot. She values loyalty and consistency, and a Pisces man values connection. So that's the way it works there. Now, when it comes to the emotional depth, now a Pisces loves deeply. Now, this is what I was saying. Like, Pisces, you got to make sure it's safe to do so. When you actually show this to Capricorn, make sure you guys are already there first. Don't try to just pull this off so soon, because she's gonna see that, oh, that you're vulnerable in such a way. Um, Now, and the only reason I say that is because she can say it and she can really tease you. She could tease you about it, to where she might not mean no harm, but if you're very emotional, you might take it like, oh, you might take it the wrong way, in other words. Um, a Capricorn loves quietly but strongly. She shows love through her actions. And a Pisces man and a Capricorn woman, they express love differently but fully. Um, like I say, a Pisces man will understand a Capricorn woman's hidden emotions. the things that she doesn't share, quite often with anyone, even her girlfriends. And that's the good thing about it, is that you get to tap into a side of her that is not easily shown. And then that's what, it'll make you feel special, Pisces. You be like, yo, I actually know something about her that y'all don't even know. That, it's like one of them type of moments. So that leads to what? Intimacy, deep bonding over time. So it's never a dull moment in the bedroom between the two of them. The loyalty tends to grow slowly but powerfully. And the good thing about a Pisces man being with a Capricorn woman is he's able to heal her. See, he can heal her, and in regards to her emotional walls that she puts up. See, because that's the one thing that she doesn't like tend to show anyone. And it's like trying to get the it's like crab legs, like to actually get to the meat of them. It's like it takes work. She's not just an open book to where, oh, you just gonna get to the nuts and bolts just like that. Like, nope. Okay, so she doesn't fake love. She doesn't fake her feelings. So here is a authentic connection between the two of them. Now, like I say, a strong intimacy. So this is a type of woman that you oftentimes, make magic with in the bedroom. That because you guys can have that ride or die energy together. And here's the most important thing: a Capricorn woman will be a ride or die type of mate for a Pisces. So she'll have your back. She'll protect your name when others try to, put you down and say things or drag your name in mud. Um, Now here, let's talk about the trust between the two. Now Capricorn values loyalty heavily, so Pisces, you do not want to mess this up. It could go from you guys being truthful with one another to you guys not being truthful. Now, who tends to lie or do something to mess up the trust could be Pisces, because sometimes you might feel you might actually, how can I say this? Sometimes you might tend to test the Capricorn, and it's like you, especially in a moment where she's already shown you, just don't get into that whole, hey, let me test her, let me do a loyalty test. Cause she ain't gonna like it, bro. If you do a loyalty test, she's gonna know you're doing a loyalty test. Cause the Capricorn, the craziest thing is they will literally like shock you and make you laugh how they be knowing things. Like she would literally know, like, oh, you had your friend ask for my number. Like, are you serious? Like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you doing these loyalty tests? Like why are you doing this for? And you'll be like, what? How the hell did she know? Since it's like that, just because she knows things, like she knows you, she knows how you feel, she knows like how you react to things. She knows exactly, like that's the good thing about the Pisces needs that type of mate, because it's like she know, what the craziest thing is? She knows your temperament. Like she knows like if you're getting upset to where you're about to fight, she'll know like, oh, it's time to go. Like like, we ain't gonna be throwing it down fighting here, and she'll get you out of there. Like, yo, we're gonna go somewhere else or something, because But the good thing about Capricorn is like she'll pull her pistol out. Yes, like if y'all out and about somewhere and some guys are like literally talking trash, like who is this dude and whoop de woo, man, she'll pull her gun out, man. She one of them type of like that really they don't play. If they get to that moment, they are not going to back down, fam. Like it's like they'll look at it. It's like you'll think she handled the situation like a professional um agent or whatnot, to where you'd be like, yo, what? I didn't know she was gonna pull out a damn AK-47 and like, it's just stuff like that. You can't underestimate a Capricorn. Um, Another thing is, like I say, the Capricorn, they protect the relationship. Once a Capricorn and a Pisces man lock in, is very strong. Remember with the two of them that the trust is always earned, not freely given. Another thing, like I mentioned, Capricorn does not play games. Um, and they don't play no, any type of long term games, if that makes sense. And not like a Scorpio. They could be faithful partners. Like I say, they're not quick to leave. Think of the type of person that's more like a mediator, where they like to work things out. They're not quick to just end it. Um, Another thing with Pisces that Capricorn you got to be very careful with is that a Pisces can sense when you're being dishonest. It's almost, and it's crazy because it's like the moment where you're driving a car and you know when the light is going to change. It's like that in those moments where a Pisces is intuitive to know exactly when you're going to lie. It's kind of like that car that sees the red light and then you have to stop. It's like, okay, don't try to gun it and don't try to run that red light when you know the light's about to change. The Pisces will catch you red-handed, like in a lie, to where they might not even be making eye contact with you. They can literally be listening to you without setting eyes on you. And the minute you lie, they can literally look at you and be like, I know you lying. Like they'd be like, nah, you ain't yeah, you thought I wasn't paying attention. Like, yeah, I know you're lying or whatnot. Um, so they could be very committed to one another once the trust is there. One thing about a Capricorn, she doesn't easily trust. She tests you first. See, she tests you first before she trusts you. Whether that be to leave a home girl half naked in the living room, she'll find something clever to do to get, hey, see if you're gonna fall or fail the test. Um, but she hopes you'll pass. Okay. Uh, Another thing is that trust between the two of you, it builds slowly. She's not in a rush, but once it's established, it's very, it's deep. Both of the signs they hate betrayals, and like I say, Pisces seeks a partner that is emotional, loyal, loyal, emotional, loyal. So it's like not just being loyal in itself, shows shows some sort of like actual feeling in it to make it, to make it known, like, okay, this is actually real, and that I guess that's what keeps the romantic, you know, vibe to it. Now, the chemistry. How does the chemistry look? Well, you have Pisces being, having the emotional side, and then Capricorn having the physical attraction. And here, why I say this is that, let's say a Capricorn owns a home, right? And it's off the beach, okay? And then it's almost like when you go to her house, just to hang out, she gets comfortable. See, she starts, she's gonna feel like, oh, I'm at home, right? Even though she has a hot tub and all these little, nice things. But you think that to get to a point where you dress according to how you feel in your own house. So it's like a Pisces might say, wait a minute, I don't want to get into no drawers, boxers right now, even though I know I'm at home, but see, Capricorn will. So why I said the physical attraction is she might be more showy with, like, because she's comfortable, she might take her clothes off and put on, a bra and panties and like be walking around the house because she's at home. She's in her mind, that's it's like the physical attraction is like, oh, this is what she feels like doing in the moment. So it could be something that makes you think like something finna jump off. You might be like, yo, we about to get it in or something. And she be like, no, I'm just getting comfortable. So that's the thing where it could be like little things where you gotta kind of adjust to know, okay, that's just her getting comfortable. Ain't nothing about to happen or nothing. But it can really surprise you because you might be like not you might not be used to that. Now, another thing is that it's a mystery between the both of them, and this is always gonna be there. So it's always gonna be like bits and pieces of information according to her personality that you're not gonna quite grasp. But as you get to know her, you're gonna start coming into the different things of what you feel about her personality, and it's like and understanding her better. So you can definitely um become intrigued by the attraction of the whole physical attraction, And then on the vice versa, she can become intrigued by your emotional depth. Now, another thing that a Pisces man can be attracted to with regarding a Capricorn woman is her strength, how strong she is, far as she is not a type of woman that's easier, easy to break. So here, both of them have strong sexual chemistry. Now here's the catch. Okay, Capricorn woman she can have dominant energy. So it's like you gotta be you gotta be masculine, but you gotta know how to take control, bro. Because if you're not careful, she could be the type of one and have you bent over. So you gotta be careful. Like you gotta have like how can I say it? You gotta know how to get her. You gotta know how to soften her to get out of that masculine mode, like that dominant mode, if that makes sense. So it's like make her feel feminine, but you gotta be in the mask. You gotta be as a man. You gotta be masculine in order to convert her you know, into the feminine energy. Because what may happen is she's built a certain way because she's always the one doing all the work mostly. Imagine someone that's out there building all day, starting businesses, making money, just doing all these different like just things that just take mental, a lot of mental work. So that's what you gotta watch. Give me 1 second, y'all. My fault. Let me see something. Give me 1 second. Let me see something, y'all. Give me 1 second. Where's this? Wait a minute. Is this the okay. I'm just now seeing where this hold on. Give me 1 second, y'all. I had to take this important call. Give me 1 second. I'm almost done, y'all. This about this. I had to send something. Give me 1 second. Damn, hold on. T8. All right, I got it. All right, y'all, my bad. Okay, so let me see. All right, I'm back. I had to handle something in my on my Discord. But yeah, okay, so all right. So this is the thing. One thing about the Capricorn woman and Pisces man as well is they both challenge each other. So it's not like you're gonna feel like, oh, this is a, boring situation, or you might feel like they actually say things to you to make you think. It's like to where she might know why you're doing something but not say it until you say something, and then she might correct you, or she might, do those little things. So you definitely would feel a magnetic pull between the both of you. Now, another thing is both of you will be fascinated with one another. That could be from the way you guys speak, that could be from the way you guys dress, to where she might compliment your outfit, or she may, and then vice versa, you might like something about her and the way she dressed and the way she speaks. Because the one thing is she could be somebody that could be from a place that you would never know that from the way that she speaks to you. You might think that she's super proper, super this, and she can literally be from Chicago, from the northern side, and it could be like, damn, well, damn, you from the hood or something, but damn, you sound like a professional. It could be one of them moments. You'd be like, damn, you sound professional as hell. She can literally have good, proper English and whatnot. She will give you a feel of a business woman when you first meet her. She'll sound very, very strict and very, don't take it like it's a bad thing. Just know that she has a lot of confidence. So she carries herself a certain type of way. But if you're not used to that, you may be like, yo, why you so serious? Why you so this and that? But I'm just telling you guys how to take it, so where you don't get, you know, it doesn't affect you in such a way where where it might be off-putting. Now, here's one of the main things. If you were looking for someone that would actually have deep talks with you, it would be Capricorn female, because she has both of you have adaptable energy. Both of you can have those deep conversations with one another. You guys can literally have hours of conversation about the pigs and milking them, and then going to the grocery store and buying Oreos together, and see, you guys will have one of them, those type of random. It could be random. It could be relatable type of topics. You might have that whole thing in common where you both eat Oreos as cereal, and it could be like she could tell you like 10 different ways or 10 different reasons why she likes that, and then kind of be fascinated by your ideas. And it's just like a cool, calm, laid back type of vibe that you get with Capricorn. It almost feels too good to be true, because with Pisces, you tend to think that everybody is against you, or you always think that you can't find someone. But when you meet a healthy Capricorn, you'll be like, yo, this is actually a good thing. But it's just like, don't 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 try to don't try to figure out everything when you're with Capricorn, because that ruins it. Leave some room to get to know them, and just be like, and be fair with it. Because if you try to jump the gun and you try to like figure out every single thing and try to understand it, then you're gonna end up tiring yourself out. Now, let me see. Okay, so we covered that. Now, if you wanted to know how long would this situation last, well, between a Capricorn woman, Pisces man, this will be considered a long-term potential of a relationship, friendship, or whatnot. Both of y'all value commitment. Capricorn wants stability. Pisces wants forever. And that's how they can build a life together, family together. Hey, both of you could get married. There's a strong marriage potential between Capricorn woman, Pisces man. as I mentioned, they can grow together, evolve together. They could, like I say, they both. Because I'm gonna tell you why. You need a great amount of emotions. You know that um, that's very important. Plus, she has the financial balance, so this can allow both of you to mature. Over time. I mean, mature with each other, and then the respect builds over time. So this type of bond between Capricorn woman and Pisces man is not easily broken, in other words. So as I mentioned, you got a protective bond, deep understanding here, strong foundation. Um, both you have, complementary strengths together, and it's built for longevity. And like I say, you both can build an empire. It really can get to that point, but it all starts with trust. Trust, 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 trust. If a Capricorn woman and a Pisces man cannot establish trust, none of which I spoke about would not happen. See, in order to activate that power, both you gotta trust each other. It cannot be no hiccups because, like I say, once it's earned, it will what? It will just happen. Not automatically, but it will happen. As soon as the trust is earned, boom. And the thing about it is that's what Capricorn consists of. They consist of loyalty and consistency. Pisces represents emotional intuition. So with Pisces brings the truth. Pisces brings the realness. Pisces brings the healing, and the healing can only happen in its truth. You see, with the intuition being there, as a Pisces can feel lies like just like a fish can feel bait. You know, in the water. You see what I'm saying? So anything that um comes to Pisces and it's a lie, it's gonna get, they're gonna see it for what it is. A Pisces now can escape. Okay. So if a Pisces gets emotionally overwhelmed, a Pisces can find a need to escape emotionally or physically. Capricorn, how they handle things in a different way, they can just become cold, detached, distant, controlling all of a sudden. So that's why I said the trust is more of a slow build between the two of them, but it's almost like this a high reward. See, and then if you go about it in a slow pace of building with one another, just imagine as you guys slowly build together, that's gonna make y'all bond harder to break. See, so that's the best thing about it. Now, as I mentioned all the good things, now it's time to do. Now it's time to tell you what to watch out for. Okay, because I know this is the part that at least I said some good things, but hey, it is what it is. Okay, what you got to watch out for is that sometimes a Capricorn woman can become locked in to her goals. She's very ambitious, so this can allow her to become emotionally unavailable. And Pisces, and if you catch this, you're gonna be like, yo, I'm talking to you. Yo, did you hear me? Because you're gonna be looking for that emotional feedback. And when that Capricorn becomes emotionally unavailable, you're gonna think she feeling some type of way. You're gonna think that she done switched up. So that's what you gotta watch out for. That's why I say you don't want to read into things right away because as you guys build together, it's going to be at a slower pace, but higher a higher reward. If you basically look at a situation like that, you won't get yourself caught up into the whole mis you know mis misunderstanding. Okay, so give me 1 second, y'all. Now, okay, so another thing is that and this applies for a man or woman. Okay, now another thing is that sometimes you could feel judged in a sense as a Pisces man or woman. You could feel judged. You could feel like, oh, you're not good enough compared to your Capricorn man, or male or female, whoever you're with. So you don't want to take it like that, because sometimes you can't always trust what you feel, if that makes sense. Now, another thing is that You could feel like you're being controlled. This is another thing, okay? Because sometimes with Capricorn, man or female, sometimes you could feel like they're doing everything how they want to do it. You could feel like you're being broken in. So you may oftentimes feel restricted, or you might feel like, oh, if you want to do a certain thing, it might, make them mad or piss them off or go against what they like to do or how they have things already in place for themselves. So I'm just letting you know, don't allow yourself to agree to everything and still has them things that you like to do as well. So that way you don't feel like that. Okay. Another thing that can happen is that she could prioritize her work. See, and the way her workflow is, she might not be at home with you all the time. So, or she might not be able to spend much time with you because of her job. That's another reason why I said you just want to watch out for it. See, because a Capricorn is it's all about business first. See, so don't try to like um if you the type if you get if you get upset during this process, it's not going to work, you guys. It's going to be a problem, and I'm just trying to tell you guys how to avoid it um, as you see it. Now, power struggles can happen between Pisces man or a Pisces woman regarding the Capricorn woman or man, and like I say, it goes back to the leadership. It goes back to the Capricorn having maybe having the way that they handle things, and then you might have a different opinion, so that could cause you guys to go bump heads. She can be questionable about a Pisces man or a Pisces man's loyalty and vice versa. If it's a Capricorn man, dealing with the Pisces woman. And the thing about it is she could test you. She could do those loyalty tests quite often. And that can really, make a Pisces feel not trusted. There could be emotional neglect between the two of them. Um, One could become too dependent on the other's structure. They could lose their identity trying to please the Capricorn. So that's why I say, like, sometimes you might think that you have to do something because you assume that the Capricorn is mad or upset with you about something, and she might just be that just might be the way that she's coming across, but not necessarily her being mad at you. So that can make you if you're not um put it like this, if you end up not holding up frame and you start to think that something's wrong constantly and finding the need to always heal or fix something, then what you may tend to do is, oh, let me do this for you. You might start to be, lose your identity just to please her. Now, another thing is there could be cold silence instead of communication on some days or sometimes when you those moments where you both don't talk much, don't read into it because, some people get tired of talking. If it's something that they may have been doing, maybe they just didn't feel like, speaking that day. The Pisces mistake here with Capricorn, and like I say, if you do it, she can possibly get mad at you or lose respect for you. So why I say this, because if one of the main things for a Pisces in the mistakes that they make with Capricorn is overgiving. Like, it's okay to do one thing, but she doesn't respect somebody that's easily taken advantage of. So like, you don't want to overgive or ignore red flags. See, and best believe she tests you. She might not necessarily make it known, but she does test you to see what you're gonna do in regards to overgiving or red flags in general. Now, what a Capricorn woman or man needs to watch out with Pisces man or woman is Pisces being inconsistent, and this can happen if a Pisces gets bored. A Pisces can start off doing something, then realize that, hey, any I'm not getting the overwhelming of emotions that I may have thought I was gonna get, or hey, if a Pisces doesn't get the reciprocation, they can basically become inconsistent all of a sudden, or they could just have found something new, that's more fun, something different to do, where they end up, not being consistent with you. Okay, so another thing, a Capricorn woman or man needs to watch out for regarding Pisces or a Pisces woman, Pisces man is emotional manipulation, as this can be intentional or not. See, because a Pisces literally like a Pisces knows your moods, your emotions, and if a Pisces doesn't want to argue, they know how to adjust their approach. See, and that's in regards to your emotions. So if they know that they've said something and pissed you off, they know how to calm you down. See, so that's why I said emotional manipulation, because it's like emotional manipulation could be considered as to how a dog and its owner, interact. So sometimes it's like if you want to get the dog to, to listen to you, you have to approach them differently. Now, another thing is escapism. So that could be ghosting and like I say, avoiding problems. The Pisces might not feel the need to address them if they don't find the situations important, but it could possibly be important to the Capricorn. Another thing is a lack of direction and discipline. So sometimes a Pisces can have plans, but not you don't necessarily see them. So a Pisces can have direction, but just doesn't make it known, if that makes sense. And they could be disciplined and once again not make it known because it's more of a secret to themselves. Because in these particular um, ways and dynamics, a Pisces may feel vulnerable, showing them or expressing them. So a Pisces, the last thing they want is that you end up having control over how they feel or just being able to predict their next move, if that makes sense. Another thing Capricorn has to watch out for a Pisces man or woman is a Pisces over promising things or under delivering where they don't deliver the things they promised they would do. Also, there could be passive behavior, where a pizza could be coming out the oven on the job, and hey, a Pisces might not even say anything, might not even say anything like, "Hey, watch that pizza; it's about to hit the floor." Sometimes a Pisces could be, passive to where they saw it, but they just didn't say anything, and they're just using that as that pizza situation as an example because they can actually see things and just not say nothing, and it's like, damn, you saw that, you should have told me, type of moments. Also, a uh, Capricorn woman needs to watch out for a Pisces man or woman being emotionally overwhelmed in a sense because sometimes a Pisces again won't say anything until it's too late. Um, Another thing a Pisces can do, but like I say, at the same time they will set boundaries, but the problem is this: you don't know where the boundaries are. So Pisces, you have to set clear boundaries so that your mate can understand where they are because sometimes you can actually build things. You could set boundaries, but then if you don't tell someone where they are, they end up tripping over them. It's like then it feels like a landmine versus a boundary, and when that happens, it's like sometimes the partner feels like, oh, you should have told me, or hey, I didn't know that bothered you, or you guys can have an argument about something that you said clearly, but like I say, to them, it felt like a landmine. Sometimes people can feel like you did it on purpose. They could try to accuse you, like, oh, you knew I was going to do this, or you knew I was going to slip and do this, and, why didn't you tell me? So, another thing too, as I mentioned, with Pisces dealing with Capricorn, male or female Capricorn, you have to watch out for this. If you don't watch out for this, you will be disappointed. Okay, and that's getting lost in the illusion with Pisces. Because listen, if you if you think of Pisces as serious in some instances, they may not be. See, and vice versa. When you think they're playing around, they might be serious. See? So you really don't know what's an illusion and what is the like, hey, real emotion of the Pisces which they're showing you. But trust and believe a Pisces could test you this way just to see if you fully understand them for what you actually see in regards to them. See? So getting lost in the illusion, sometimes a Pisces can literally try to see how you respond to it just to test to see if your perception is accurate. Capricorn, mistaking the situation regarding a Pisces man or a woman is trying to control instead of understanding things or understanding their partner. Because don't try to, if you try to control, see, a Pisces can feel that control on a whole nother level because you can't control a Pisces. So if you a Capricorn and you think that, oh, I'm gonna take control over this Pisces in this situation, it's not gonna work. And just in, or if you're doing it to just understand your Pisces, in other words. Now, the real truth here is that when you look at the both of them in a relationship, you have the builder and then you have the believer. Okay. So you put both of them together. This amounts to what? A power couple. So this can be a couple that can be based off of maturity. But here's the problem. If they are both immature, then this could be control versus what? An escape cycle. So it's like a Pisces could be the type, if it, like I say, if it's an immature situation between the relationship concerning the two, what can happen is a Pisces can literally escape and then come back at an opportune time and escape again, come back at an opportune time. So it's like if a Pisces feels uncomfortable emotionally with that Capricorn, they can literally leave, break up, and then come back at maybe a year later, 6 months later, and talk again. And then, hey, if the person still hasn't changed much, Pisces would do the same thing until Capricorn realizes that this is an ongoing thing. He keeps coming back. We talk for a minute, and then we're not talking. So it's like that's why you want to make sure you both have established the whole maturity between the both of you. Now, Pisces, like I say, you bring the vision to Capricorn. Capricorn brings the building blocks. So here's the thing: if the trust breaks between the both of you, one disappears while the other one shuts down. If that makes sense. See, because you gotta understand that Pisces helps Capricorn um regarding where to build. See, because the thing about it, you can't start building with no trust. Because this is the thing: Capricorn is good at building the structure. So imagine a company that's been structured, but here's the problem. If you don't know how to, if you, if you don't know how to deal with, basically communicate with others well, or you don't know how to, how can I say it? You don't go into it with the trust that you should, because you got to have some sort of trust and integrity going into your own business. And if you can't do that, you can't just be good at one thing. It's like, and that's the one of the lessons behind it is you can't be good at just one thing. Um, so yeah, that's my take on Pisces man, Capricorn woman. Let me see. Let's see. Let me answer. Tanaya said, I can shake your hand right now. It's so true what you're saying. I can relate as a Capricorn in a relationship for over 6 years with Pisces, and I am faithful. Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it takes a while because this is the thing. You could get real excited when you realize that you have someone that can actually keep up in regards to, a conversation that you guys have with one another. Because that's one of the things why Pisces, how can I say it? It's like Pisces wants someone that can keep up. So it's like a Pisces will literally, soon as you're able to figure out something the Pisces hasn't explained to you and you just get it, then you get like almost like you get a good spot in a Pisces life. It's like, yo, you skipped everybody else. And then now the Pisces is like highly interested now because how the hell do you get me? And I'm the hardest person to figure out. Like, and you just get it to where it's almost like you got the Pisces cheat sheet and you just sitting there like, damn, how you knew that? How do you know that? How do you just feel like excited that somebody actually has figured you out somewhat to where once you put a Rubik Cube together, then you're like, yo, you can't believe it's real Pisces. And then you be like, hold on, let me see, like, how the heck and that's the thing, like, A Capricorn could be patient and tell you things without getting upset like some other signs do when it comes to explaining things. Because if you expect that same type of treatment from a Leo, ain't gonna happen. See, they see it's like certain signs they not built for that. But when you deal with Capricorn, it's like interesting. Now, I will say this: after all that, after all that's being said, Pisces, bro, you could really mess this up if you're not careful. So this is why I say you gotta respect it because man, if you do that Capricorn dirty, bro, it's over with, bro. It ain't finna work no more, bro. You once you lose trust with Capricorn, they're done for good, bro. It ain't none. It's not like a we gonna get back together and whoop de woo. It's gonna be like it used to be. Nope. If you do that Capricorn dirty, bro, it ain't. It's over with, bro. That's it. It ain't like running back. None of that. That's just how serious she is. So when she fucks with you, she really fucks with you, and you gotta appreciate it. You gotta stop. Like I don't know why some Pisces are like this, but like some Pisces they don't believe it. It's like they might see something, and then it's like the real. Like for instance, how many of you being a Pisces have maybe mismanaged a friendship thinking that the person was against you, but they were really on your side, but you overlooked them because you just felt like they were hiding something or you felt like what they were showing you wasn't like really them. But it's like you might have been wrong to where sometimes you could just always be looking for something to be wrong. And then it's like right when somebody is for you is in your face, you gotta just accept it for what it is and not try to add to it or subtract from it. Just accept it. But then at the same time, if you're unsure, then just take your time. You see, don't play the mind games. Just take your time. Maybe still hang out with the person, but just like make sure you take a day or two off for yourself so that way you can actually see what you feel and know that it's real instead of you just jumping the gun and just saying, "Oh, I don't trust this person." And they haven't given you a reason to not trust them. It's like, come on, bro. They ain't done. They ain't not about to do nothing, bro. This. You're not used to having a good friend, and this is what that is. You're not used to someone understanding you, so this feels different. So that's the thing. Like, um, and this crazy thing was with the Capricorn today. It's like I felt a little sentimental, but at the same time, I had to catch myself because when you got a Scorpio, when I got Scorpio on the ascendant. And Scorpio tends to protect me from actually, being too vulnerable in like such cases. Cause like I realized that if I like someone, I have to like literally take a step aside and just like take things slow. Cause I tend to like get excited and then it's like I tend to bulldoze and just like it's like I become clingy with that person to where I be wanting to like hang out more and it shows. But if another person doesn't feel that way, obviously it's not realistic, but it's like I become obsessed or possessive. So what can happen is when you do that and you um if you like that, you gotta like take a step back, like, okay, I know you're interested, but you gotta slow down, dude, because you're gonna end up hitting the wall at some point. So just wait and just, spread it out. So don't hang with her every day. Hey, you know how you may have that moonshine with that lemonade, and it tastes so good, and you got a whole gallon, and it tastes so good, and you just keep taking sip after sip after sip, and you're like, yo, I'm gonna fuck around and drink the whole damn thing. It's so good. What you gotta do is like save it though. Like take a couple sips and then just put the cap on it and put it up for a couple days. Enjoy it to where it's like a long on a long term, not to when it spoils, but just be enjoy it. Don't just have to just chug it down. Like, nah, you enjoy it. Have a little, maybe if it's a cheesecake, have a slice and then wait a day and then have another slice, spread it out. And that's why I say break it down, spread it out when you like somebody. Slow down, bro. slow down. Even a female too, slow down and just do, and just enjoy it. See, because if you get too excited, it might. If you have a, how can I say it? You get too excited in what you might think you're doing the right thing, but you can actually run somebody off. See, because you're just like too interested, if that makes sense. So that's the thing about it. But this is the funny thing. I will say this. When I got ready to leave, she was like, she asked me, oh, she asked me for a little hug and shit. I'm like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. But I didn't take it to heart because I said, you know what, that could have just been, a little, maybe it would have been awkward if we just didn't say nothing because I went over there. So I said, well, hey, I just gave her a little hug and then I left. But it's like I didn't read too much into it because I feel like it would just make it weird. But like sometimes when people do like little gestures like that, whether you be in a situation, they shake your hand or whoop de woo, just like I always say, take it for what it is. Don't read into it because it might not be what you may think it would be, if that makes sense. Now, Misty said, I'm trying to talk to a Capricorn, but he's hot, looks good, says his social media. He likes so many women uh thinking he's a F boy. He got potential. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the thing. That hey, that's a good thing for you. I mean, I feel like people don't see, even I had to like take a step aside because like I ain't go, okay, so the way the way she was speaking and talking, like up in my, okay, my intuition was like, woo, because she's like, there's some things that she said that I don't agree with, but then I'm like, okay, she's entitled to her own opinion. And me having Moon in Aquarius, I just felt like, how I feel about things is my personal business. Because I don't want to debate and I don't want to sit there and be arguing with somebody that could possibly be uh, a friend or, hey, whatever. Who knows what it could turn into. But sometimes when you tell people how you feel earlier on, when you haven't even established anything yet, it actually does you a disservice to where it's like, damn, I shouldn't even have said or spoke on something of which I felt. Like when she said the whole roster thing, that kind of was like something that I didn't agree with, but it's like I feel maybe she has struggles in that area where she feel like, maybe she feels like, oh, she can't, she's been in situations where she was, maybe not faithful, or maybe like, maybe she cheated. Who knows? But it's like for her to say, oh, I'm adding you to the roster. This is what I've learned, okay? And I'm gonna tell you guys why. Because the illusion. See, people say and do so many different things. We do not know what is actually true of which a person tells us. We want to believe them, but unfortunately, it's a lot of people that say a lot of things, and it's like, how do we know what's true? See, on a day to day, as you begin to talk with other people and they lollygag, they tell you things, it's like, how much of that is true and how much of it is BS, right? So if a person says, oh, I have a roster and I have this and that, and I got this and I got that, right? How much of that is true? Do you really have a roster? Or you just want people to think that you're desired? See, because I feel like wherever the ego is, there's insecurity. So people's ego tends to mask their insecurities. So if a person says I have a roster, that's just how much more they don't feel good about themselves to have a roster. Why not just have one person? Why not just have a friend? Why not just have a group of friends? Why a roster? See that? A roster, you're trying to convince me that you're desired because you're not. If that makes sense, that's if you guys like if you see where I'm coming from, let me know. Um, let me see. Rob said, A professional yapper. Hey man, I like that. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna use that. I'm dead ass. Like I'm gonna use that professional. Yeah, I'm a professional yapper. Yes. Like, but it's a difference from being a yapper when you're a YouTuber, because that's what they do. They talk. I mean, who's gonna get on the damn camera and not say anything? That'd be weird. But yeah, okay. Shout out to the Capricorns. Zuka, I mean, that's your opinion, bro. That's your opinion, bro. But you gotta understand this, bro. Like this, you can't hate on something that you not like, just because you don't f with it and you feel that it's for women or for who, bro. Whoever does it, hey, we live in a world anybody could do anything, bro. The sky is the limit. It's this astrology stuff is not just for women, bro. It's just that a lot of women do it, but now you see men doing it. You see whoever doing it, but it's like who who cares, bro? Who does it? It's like if you if you know how to do what you know how to do well, it is what it is. That's like me saying, oh, if you're a nerd and I say, oh, I'm not gonna bash a nerd just because, oh, it's nerds that do that particular thing. Why would I refer it to that? See, that's what hate is. Hate, you're basically hating on the mere fact that, oh, you can't do it. So now you gotta make the person that is benefiting off of it, or the person that's good at it, you're trying to make them feel small because you don't know how to do it well. Like you can't do it like them. So you bash it. But that's like, to me, to each his own, we all have different opinions. I just refuse to share mine because I think that, to me, is like I'm not gonna stop just because you feel like that, if that makes sense. Now let me see. I appreciate you, Misty, with the moderating, you know, s- removing certain things out the way, because some of these, like you said, man, it be a lot of trolls coming up in here, man. But I say, like, the trolls, they to be off the chain, because they be coming in here and they be so off topic that they just be like saying dumb shit to where look they be looking for attention. Yep. She said, we ain't doing that tonight. Facts, fact. You just don't know, Misty. I really appreciate you, because like it's one thing when you like have to do the video or the live and then do the whole moderating at the same time. It's like nerve wracking, because it's like it interrupts your whole flow, because where you gotta keep going and like going through the chat, and then it's a lot. Are you doing oils, essential oils? Let me see. Oh, shout out to Go Diego Go. Let me see. Supreme said knowledge is the foundation of all things in existence, and understanding your relationship with the universe. Once you understand your relationship with the universe, you understand yourself. Yeah, because I feel like I agree, because I mean, I feel like when life is like a mirror, and you're supposed to have that reflection, as you live in this world, and how you see yourself is almost like how the world sees you. The world will always see you how you see yourself, if that makes sense. Well, at least that's supposed to be that way. But it's like, if you're living a lie, then it's like, if people don't see that lie within you, it's like, or what lies, beneath you or in you, it's like, then you end up, that's the whole illusion situation of which I mentioned. That's why I said life is an illusion, because everything that we see is not the truth. See that? Everything that we see is not the truth. And you know what's crazy? It's on every spectrum. So it's like you could look at a person and you can see them at the gym working out, right? But you don't know their backstory. Like you don't know how much weight they've lost. You don't know why they're there. And they literally, as soon as you go ask them, yo, how is this gym? And hey, I see you here often. How's things going? The first thing they might do to you is lie to you. See that? Oh, I've been coming up here every day, man. I eat, uh, you know, I eat, I eat rice and I eat. They just really want you to they want you to have the image of, oh, I work out every day, but they don't. It's like a lot of people will lie to you before they're honest with you, if that makes sense, because of what you see. They want you to have a different view of, what you saw. So it's like if they tell you they're this bodybuilder, they want to erase the image of what you saw before you met them. In other words, that's why I said that life is an illusion. And we all have to question everything that we see before we trust it. So it's like if you if a person deceives you, now you've basically believed the lie. See, that was presented. You basically fell for the bait. But people do this to control you. See, it's not about the information that you get, it's the control. People control you by what you don't know about them. See, that's how they able to fool you every time because you don't know the truth. So as soon as as soon as you see something, you get a first impression before you meet them. And then when you meet them, now if that person if that person doesn't like themselves, they're going to try to uh basically introduce the real them, they're going to try to introduce the counterfeit version of themselves, the facade. Oh yeah, I'm this person and this, but the illusion outweighs a facade, if that makes sense. Because the facade is like, oh, what you want everybody else to look at you as such. It's like, oh, I want everybody to know that I'm a bodybuilder just because I go to the gym and then I get on the treadmill and then I leave. You're not a bodybuilder, buddy. Like, you ain't in there being like Arnold Schwarzenegger where doing you're doing your different what they call lateral pulls of different types of sets of different different workouts or whatnot. But some people think that they done something just because they went to the gym, got on the treadmill and left. Like, come on, bro. But you know, it's like I didn't see this until I realized something. It's like every time I got to know somebody, they tried to change they tried to change my perception of who they were it's like when I set eyes on them, they tried to change my perception of who they were. And that's how I knew that the illusion outweighs the facade, that the illusion is always stronger because people are going to go off. If you are a you live your life through the intuition, you're going to know people before you even meet them. And you're supposed to know what you're dealing with before you introduce yourself anyway. And you probably wouldn't introduce yourself if you didn't really agree with what you saw. Problem is that some people they feel like I have to see it twice, or I have to hear it twice, or I have to confirm it. So then they'll actually go introduce themselves. Hi, I'm Billy Bob, and what's your name? And then that person ends up, oh, my name is such and such. They might give you a fake name. They might tell you a nickname. They might withhold information. But the more explaining that you do with them and vice versa, they're going to tell you things that absolutely have nothing to do with who they are. See? So you could actually have wasted your time even introducing yourself because they didn't. And then you like, oh, damn, I thought that person was cool, but they've already showed you who they were. You just didn't believe them. Just that's it's see the ego always tries to show up when a person is has insecurities, and insecurities get they get masked. That any type of wound, disadvantage, or anything that a person is not they don't like about themselves, it gets covered with a mask. See, because it's like I can't be walking around with my with this out. People gonna see it for what it is. So why not have to cover it up so you don't notice it? So that's why I always say just um and I'll tell you another thing, people do that because they think, oh, the less you know, they think you won't find out when they already know the answers already. Let me see. Oh, you said ritual oils, roll opener. Okay. Yeah, I'm not really too I don't not too knowledgeable about that. That's my first time hearing about. You said roll opener. Yeah, I'm not too fond of what that is, Misty. What is that? Let me see. Little dude's crotches said, Jesus loves you, bro. God has a plan for you. Don't give up. I appreciate that. Um, same for you too, Brody. Miss said we always find out exactly they try to control for a little bit. Yeah, that's the thing. And it's due to their influence. So everybody has a level of influence. This is how you make friends, okay? So it's like you share your energy with others. This is how you're able to, you know, meet people, in other words. Now, whether or not a person actually sticks to you, that will all, depend on the length, the time, the consistency, the vibe. And most of the time you still have to, have that person accept somewhat of your energy. See, that's going to require you to reveal, you know, more of yourself to that person in order for them to feel comfortable being cool with you. You gotta understand that the people you hang with from the day to day, they they are hanging with you because they can actually, feel your energy. They feel either a sense of comfort, they feel either a sense of relief, peacefulness, somebody to talk to. They can feel the empathy, and that can actually be the very reason why they keep coming back or they keep hanging with you. But what you got to be somewhat friendly though, because it's hard to make friends if you're not friendly, if that makes sense. Because that's what it's like a magnet. It's like peanut butter and jelly. It's like something that just sticks together because if you don't, if you're not somewhere friendly, you're not going to make friends in life. And also to become friendly, you have to, be a friend to yourself. You also have to, you gotta, and I'm gonna tell you, it's a technique to it because it's not easy being friendly, especially when you feel vulnerable doing so. It's like um when you're friendly, you just gotta know how to do it without it making you feel bad. See, because let's say like you could be friendly and then you could feel like you're actually doing someone else a favor than doing yourself a favor. And it could feel like, oh, am I really being like viewed as such of which I'm trying to project or as it comes off to others, but then it's like you could actually be friendly to the wrong people, then you can actually feel bad for even showing that side of you. You could feel like, oh, I showed it to the wrong person. Let me see what's going on, Princess. Cash you out. Misty said we always find out exactly they're trying to control. Yeah, facts. Said the door opener removes people and obstacles in your way. Also bless full moon, intention infused, protecting always added. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, that's yeah. So I ain't really haven't really got well, I used to have like essential oil. Well, this is more like a praying oil. That's pretty much like the closest that I came to like a oil or whatnot. But yeah, I basically at some point I am gonna have a product and like I say some merch or whatnot. But like I'm just working on making it I'm trying to change the actual brand because the one I started off with, it was just like kind of plain. But even then, I still own it. I'm still, I can still release it. But I'm just like trying to make my how can I say it? I'm trying to use the right tools, the right, resources to actually make it better because I feel like as the years progress, you should always, better your situation. You could change things as long as you don't take away its originality, its originality or whatnot. But it's okay to improve as you self-reflect because doing the same thing over and over, it does get boring and it does get you don't want it to become predictable to where you have something that someone already knows or has a idea of what's going to happen. So that's the thing with me is I can't like one thing about me, I'm not gonna stop doing YouTube because it's like a passion of mine. But it's like I do see a lot of people like quitting. I see a lot of people quitting YouTube, and I always ask myself like, why do they do that? It's like some people they only do this for the money, and that's why they don't last. Cause that's the thing, you don't get much. You don't get much doing this. It all depends on like what else you got going on. So you either got to have like a Patreon or something else going on outside of the platform. But like people don't understand, like you can't just go into anything in life just focusing on the money. Because soon as something you're gonna put it like this, the reason why you don't want to do that because you're gonna be super disappointed if you don't get something you expected or the amount. And it's like that's why you gotta do it for the passion. It's like do it. Yeah, you could still make a business and have a service, but just still don't let the money, get to you to where you're like, oh, if this doesn't work, then I'm just gonna, boom. Like, nah, just don't quit because it's so easy to feel like that. But I'm not really, and like I said, I don't believe in quitting because I'm the type of person on jobs too. I will just let them fire me because like I feel like with quitting, it makes you look like they pushed you out, like they made you quit. I don't like to give the satisfaction that, oh, I rather, yeah, I fired you. Okay, cool. So that means the other way around. Like, yeah, I made you fire me. Like, yeah, I was probably not doing my job, but hey, you fired me, so that let me know that was outside of my control. Because if you quit, that means you've let something affect you and it, cause you. It's like a reaction. You made it. It basically got to you to the point where you had to leave. But I will admit, you do, you can't always do something the same way all the time. Like sometimes you do have to leave a job that's toxic. Like it is what it is. But it's like everything requires balance. Like just like you can't always be silent. And sometimes like if something happens, you do have to, you know, you do have to face confrontation. You do have to get to the bottom of things without, you know, being uncertain to where sometimes you gotta know when to be silent with purpose, and then you gotta know when to stand your ground and speak up and confront someone about something to find out information. Cause one time I got let go and then it was a mistake. But I wouldn't have found that out had I not went and spoke to the person, the boss. So where it's like, oh, it was, something that happened in the computer. Boom. I wouldn't have found that out had I just been like, oh, I ain't gonna say nothing. So that's why I say you don't always just want to be quiet about things and just ignore things when you should speak up for yourself and find out what's going on. But like, I think I said that before and it got taken out of context that when I was saying, you don't want to give a person a reaction, true, but you don't want to let somebody run all over you. In other words, you don't want to let somebody run all over you in a sense to where they're treating you wrong and you're not saying nothing, if that makes sense. So that was pretty much like a disclaimer. But yeah, you see, Prince said level up. Wait, Misty said level up. I get you. I totally believe in you. I appreciate that. And same for you as well, Misty. You see, Prince said Pisces make those mistakes. Yeah, every sign make mistakes. It's not gonna always be perfect, regardless of compatibility or whoever you date, whoever you talk to. But the most part is you actually realizing your mistakes and learning from them. And as I said this earlier to the Capricorn woman. I said the same thing. I said some mistakes aren't mistakes. See, like some things you're just not supposed to do. It's cold blooded. Like some things you're just not supposed to do in life. It's a reason why you're making a mistake. 'Cause it's not your purpose. Like you can't be great at everything. Like it's only was it's only what's destined for you. It's almost like what your purpose is in life because you can't choose what you want. It's almost like you think you can decide when you actually have no control over what happens because if you did, I'm sure a lot of us would have had chosen different countries to be born into, but we didn't have any control over that of which we were placed. So how could you have control over what you decide to do based off of decisions that you make in this life when you don't have any control? So that's why some of us become NBA players and some of us don't. You think the person that, practiced every day and thought they was going to be the next LeBron James only to realize that, hey, they amounted to being a chef and maybe that could have been their career for life. And it's like, oh, but they wanted to be a basketball player, NBA player. It's like, well, that wasn't your lane, buddy. It's like you you can't get upset that that didn't happen for you because of some type of setback. Maybe you had your son in college or that prevented you from really taking the basketball further, but you can't get upset because what's for you is for you, no matter what. If it's meant for you to do something, it's gonna happen regardless. You will always be positioned to have that, if that makes sense. But that's why I know like people can actually do something and then someone can do the same thing and not make it or not survive or not be good at it because it's not meant for them to do that. But when you force it, then you end up getting into the situation. You might, get your foot in the door, but then something in the league happens. See, to where it sets you back, and it's like you were never supposed to, pursue that the way you were, and now you're doing 20 years in the pen for, being Michael Vick or something, to where you done did with some, animal or whatever, and now you're in trouble. It's like stuff like that just doesn't just happen. It happens for a reason. So it's just my take on it because I really observe situations and I say to myself, damn, it's not always what it looks like. And, you just never can be sure of what you actually see. And then like, for instance, you could feel something right now And some can tell you, oh yeah. And it's like this happened to me. This happened to me before. I saw a woman in the gym and I said, oh yeah, she looks good. Oh, I'm gonna go get her number, right? That's me and what I'm thinking. So I wait. At least I waited for her to get done with her workout. I ain't enjoy interrupt her on the workout thing. But when I saw her get off the machine, I said, okay, now it's time to make my move. So I said, excuse me, miss. Yeah, what's your name? Woo woo, introduce myself. And yeah, maybe say, get together sometime or maybe get some Starbucks or something. You could, whatever, right? And she said, no, I have someone I'm talking to. I said, oh, okay, well, hey, well, you have a good night. Boom, right? But that's what I'm saying. Like, you could have just something that you want. It doesn't mean you're gonna get it just because you want it. Like, how many of us will say the same, and then some of us, yeah, some people just take it for what it is, and some people get really upset. It's like you can't get upset if it wasn't meant to be, bro. Like, if it was meant for her to give you the number, she would have gave it to you. But if she don't, it's not the end of the world. See, it just means that it wasn't meant for you to get her number, if that makes sense. So that's why I always say, like, just because you see something doesn't mean that it's for you. But yeah, I love y'all. Hit the like button if you resonate or you like the video, or the lives, I should say. And like, subscribe if you haven't. And I'll catch y'all tomorrow with another live, possibly another video. I gotta do some editing and I'll release those videos. Peace out. Y'all have a good night.